opportunity to participate.
Okay. A very beautiful good afternoon to you all. Actually, it's 12:05, so I think we must start because we couldn't wait for longer than this as we have only 40 minutes right now. So, dear students, as you all know that last time we have discussed about state. So today we are going towards a little bit ahead. You know that in our life, one thing which is very important, and we all prefer such kind of things. We all prefer one kind of group. You might have many groups, for example, WhatsApp groups, your Facebook groups, or your Telegram group also. So these are social media group. But in our general life, just remember your childhood days. What happens whenever first of all you went to your school? So after going in school, you met with someone that means just like for example, suppose you are in a junior KG, senior KG. At that time, you might went to the school. On the very first day, you felt crying because there was no one who could recognize you or who could identify you. Just you might see your mom and so many things. But after some days, you might have done friendship with some students. So day by day, or year by year, whenever you'll go in third standard, fourth standard, then that means now you are remembering that we have formed one group. One group, that means those were your friend, and whenever you would like to speak with them, whenever you have shared so many things with them. So what happened actually at that time? So learning also took place at the same time. So that is called as peer group. So today, let's see a very, very important agency of education, and that is called as peer group. Look, you can see in this slide, there are three persons, one boy, two girls. Actually, if you'll see their age, almost they are of same age. They are doing something. They are doing something. They are playing or they are uh, doing some activity. So in this way also, what teacher used to do in the class, they are going to form some groups. They are going to give them some activities, and through also students are going to learn. So this is one thing. And second thing, whenever you yourself are going to form groups here also, look there. What happens whenever you'll come to the college on the very first day? What happens? You didn't know each other, but whenever you'll go in the college, whenever you'll see some faces in your class, what you are going to say? Hi, hello, good morning, good afternoon, and then your interaction will go on. That means you are going to ask them your name, huh, where did you come from, and so many things you used to ask them. So whenever you are going to do such kind of interactions afterwards, whenever teacher will interact with you, then you are going to form your group. That means in the meantime, in the lunch time, whenever you go in the canteen, whenever some activities are given to you. So at that time, deliberately what happened, we always prefer to make such kind of groups. Such kind of groups, that means where you'll find your interests are similar, where your nature is similar, and where you'll find that all the members hmm, are having equal goals or equal, can say, equal motto, equal values. Then we used to hmm, keep friendship with such kind of friends, and in this way we used to form one. So we have also a group. I remember one group which is very very close to me. That means in university, whenever we have taken our education in Savitribai Phule Pune University in the department, so at that time we have formed one group because we were seven friends. Now also we are, but we seven friends came together, and whenever we were seven at that time, so we have given one name to our group, and that is known as Saptarshi group. Saptarshi group. So our principal sir, he is also part of that group, because on the very first day we all seven met, and afterwards our interactions got started. So now, that means from that time till date we are seven. So we have gained group as Saptarshi group. We have done several things. We have enjoyed a lot at that time. We have used the same group for our study, for doing so many things, number of activities, number of incidents took place within these years, whatever we have done from that time till now. So this is also called as peer group. Okay, I will show you one more picture. Just see. Look, students can they sit together from one class. You can see syllabus is also there. They are playing something. So this is also one of the peer group. Hmm. But you can find there are some children who are not of their
बघू
age.
दे रे बघू दे थांब शिवम जरा पाणी तापलं किती लांब गेलं
Okay, so this is one group where you will see all those things. Hmm. But here in this group, you'll find there are some children whose age is different. Some are big, some are small also. Not a little bit different, but this is also one of the peer group we can say. Okay, let's go a little bit ahead forward. Look, this is the actual peer group. Actual peer group, that means look, whenever you are in a school, in a college, whenever you'll go for a picnic, or whenever, right now, what happens whenever there are holidays or weekly offs, students used to make their group and they used to go for picnic. Now it's a rainy season. So, what happens in the rainy season? We always find that look, students used to make their own groups, and they used to go mostly. If you are living in Pune, then students mostly prefer to go at Lonavala. Hmm? Because at Lonavala there are so many dams, also number of spots, number of waterfalls are there, so they used to go over there. So these are peers. This is a group of one college, and they went for picnic. As they have weekly off, their holiday to their college. So in this year also, they are doing lots of fun in peer group. They are learning several things in peer group, trying to study combinedly, or we can say cooperative learning, collaborative learning in peer groups also. So this is the example of peer group. Okay, look, now we are going towards the theory. Towards peer group. Peer group is both a social group and a primary group of people who have similar interests. So, giving you example, mostly in school, mostly in college, we are going to form such kind of group. Okay, if you are not in a college, then in your society also you can form such kind of group that is known as social group. So, which kind of people are going to join for such a group? For example, having same interest, mostly of same age, Then same background that means mostly middle class, high class, or poor students. They are also going such kind of groups accordingly. Hmm? And one more thing, just I told you that social status, it is also very, very important because always mother and father used to tell their kids that you should make a friendship with such kind of students who are equal to our status. So in this way also some kind of groups are going to form, and in your society also, in your colony also, in our regular life also, we could see these things that people used to form such kind of groups. So that is called as a peer group. So it is a both types, social group and a primary group of people. Mostly in college, we are going to form primary peer group. Hmm? Where mostly in school, we are not going to see all those things. For example, all the status and everything. Why? Because one thing in school, they have proper uniform, so everyone, though he is very poor, though he is from middle class family, or though she is from rich class family or high class family, they used to wear same dress. They have same bags and everything, mostly whatever school is going to provide them. So they are going to form the group based on their interest, based on their intellectual capacity, mostly we can see. But interest is one of the very important factor, and age is also a very important factor. Might be there is a difference of 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 years also. But in schools and colleges, you will find that mostly from one class, from one college, from one, we can say, if you are learning to FYB, and suppose there are 5 divisions of FYB, and students used to form a group of all those divisions also in a separate division also. So that is known as peer group. Got it? Any doubt in peer groups concept? I'm going to tell you some more things regarding this, but got the definition? Have you got it? Yes or
Yes,
no?
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Okay. So look, one more thing I would like to tell you. Members of this group are likely to influence the person's beliefs and behavior. Hmm? First of all, you'll find there are only two members. Okay, but their behavior is very nice. Their beliefs are likewise. They used to help each other or everyone. So what happened whenever another person will see their behavior and their beliefs, then he used to join them. So in this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In this way, members of the same group might get increasing. So afterwards, they are going to fix the limit that this is our limit, and we are not going to take some more persons in our group because this is a limited group. This is a short group, very lovely group, very sweet group. So that is called as peer group. One more thing, look, peer group contains hierarchies and distinct patterns of behavior. So again, hierarchies and distinct patterns of behavior. Behavior, it has distinct patterns also. Look, we couldn't say that both the persons are as equal in their behavior. Okay, no problem. 80% equal, but 20% might different. Or 99% equal, but one person might will find that there is a difference in between their behavior a little bit. But mostly exactly whenever your behavior matches, then you are going to form such kind of group, and they have a proper hierarchy. Hierarchy, that means means they are going to form such kind of hierarchy. For example, if you are going to take needs, so first of all, which need is very important for the human being, which is a very basic, a very necessary need of us, a human being. Will you answer this question? What is our basic need, or what are our basic needs as a human being? You don't have any kind of needs. Hmm? It's very simple: food, shelter, and water. Now, these three things are very much necessary for human beings. Okay, so these are our basic needs. Afterwards, if we'll go a little bit ahead, then physical need. Physical needs, love, affection. So these are physical needs. Again, if we'll go a little bit ahead. So in this way, whenever you are going to do such kind of hierarchy, first of all, you will have to fulfill these basic needs. Afterwards, physical needs. Afterwards, again, if we'll go, for example, self-esteem needs. Afterwards, so in this way, whenever you are going to do hierarchy, that means from top to bottom, from bottom to top, and that is called as hierarchy. In the same way, in behavior also, you'll find such kind of things. And you are going to form a group. Suppose someone like that, what is the goal of this group? To help everyone. So by seeing this kind of behavior, your peers are going to join your group. Or some people are going to see some peers that this group is very good in study. They are going to do a cooperative, combined study, collaborative study. So I must join them. For what? For the purpose of the need of the study. So this is called as hierarchy. So this is also, these are characteristics of whatever we are going to see. Look, next thing, 18-year-olds are not in a peer group with a 14 years old, huh, even though they may be in the school together. What happens generally, peers, they are going to form a group mostly hmm, of same age. They are not going to take a senior person in their group. For example, 18-year-old student is there in the school. So they are not going to take him in their group. Why they are going to not take him or her in their group? Because they thought that our interests are different. He is a senior person. He's not like us. So we are not going to take him in our group. So this is also a thing that they are not going to take him. Or if we'll see from the point view of psychology, then some needs of these students and that student, that means a little bit more age, 4 years or 5 years gap, then their needs are a little bit different. So in this way also, they are not preferred to take such kind of person in their group. So this is also one of the thing we could say regarding peer group. Look, next thing, during adolescent stage. Adolescent stage, that means mostly from 13 to 19 years old. So during this adolescent stage, peer groups tend to face dramatic changes. In our body, mostly in our physics, in our mentality, in our emotions, number of changes takes place. I think in course 101, childhood and growing up, you will get the knowledge of all those stages. Hmm? That means adolescent stage, childhood stage. So these things you will get over there whenever you learn that topic. Adolescent stage, I think you have one chapter over there in 101 on the basic topic. So number of things going on at this stage, because 13 to 19 is such kind of a period when there are number of changes takes place in our physic, that means in our body, from physical point of view. Second thing, in your mind also, mental point of view, number of changes are taking place. And in the same way, emotional also. So your emotions are also changing in this period. So this is also called as a period of storm and stress. So what happens in this period? These peer groups tend to face dramatic changes in their body also, in their mind also, in their we can say emotions also. So they used to share everything in between them. Hmm? So we could say that this is such kind of a period where peers used to share everything with their group. Then these adolescents tend to spend some more time with their peers and have less adult supervision, because they never want adult supervision. They never want their mother or father come with them to school or college. They always say that I'm a grown up now. Don't come with me to my college, to my school. Hmm? So I will go with my friends. Hmm. So in this way, they never share their things also with their parents. They used to tell all those things to their friends, to their peers only. Right now, what is happening? Everyone has smartphones, and these children who are going in mostly in colleges, in school also, but mostly in colleges after 10, 11, or 12. What they have, they each and everyone has smartphone or Android phone, might be more than 10,000 or 15,000 also. So just observe this thing. If you take their cell phone or mobile phone, they will not give you. Why? There's number of things they have stored in that, their chat messages and so many things. They don't want to share all those things with you. So they will never give you the password of their mobile phone. Why? Because in their peer group, they have done so many things. Number of chattings are there, number of things which you couldn't like, and so on. So they never want their mom and dad, right, to go with all those things. Here it is okay in India, but if you go abroad, mostly in US, you will find that uh, if a parent will scold, if a parent will beat their children, then they may file FIR against them. One of my friend is in Denmark, so he has one son. So he told me that Denmark government, they are going to take care of that child from his or her birth only. From the same day whenever he or she took birth on this earth, they have opened, that means Denmark government have opened one account on the name of that girl or boy, and they used to hmm, put money in that account. Why? So that the parents will give everything to that child, because child or children are the wealth of Denmark. So if they will find that parents are not taking care of their children, then they will snatch these kids away from their parents. So this is also one thing regarding abroad. Hmm. So always these parents used to take care of their children. So here I want to tell you the same thing, that what happens, these adolescent children, they used to spend more time with their peers and very less with adult. They always right now you'll find they are always busy in chatting, in calling their friends. Right now that means because of lockdown and so many things, children are not going outside as schools and colleges are closed, but still you'll find that they are doing chatting, they are on conference call, on Zoom meetings for a long time, because they used to share everything with their peers only. And their communication, it always shifts during this time. They have always shifted themselves from such kind of things also. So number of things are there if we'll consider regarding this. Look, one more thing, whenever peer groups are formed, they always prefer to talk about school and their careers with their parents. Hmm? Look, when your parents used to talk with them, they always tell them that my school is like this and I want to do this career and so on. And they enjoy talking about interpersonal relationship with their peers. Interpersonal relationship, interpersonal relationship in school, in colleges, number of things are going on at present. So always they are going to share all those things, whatever going on in their mind, mostly their emotions with their peers. Boys, girls, mostly attraction and so many things happens in this period. So they are going to share each and everything with their peers. For example, regarding their teachers, look, you yourself might share such kind of things. For example, this he's very bad, his teaching, I don't like his teaching or her teaching. She always used to tell everything from the book only, she never gives us example, she never motivate us, and so many things. We used to do all those things with our peers only, not with another persons, because we know that whatever we are going to share with our peers, they are not going to tell someone else. So we used to share everything, or sometimes we are going to say, oh, that teacher, I like him so much, he's very kind and he's very generous, she possesses or he possesses a very sweet personality. She never scold anyone. always she motivate each and every student. So in this way also, peers used to share all those things in their peer group only. So look, always you also or we also, we used to join such kind of peer groups who will accept us and who will always tend to deny such kind of people who are different from them. So in school also you'll find such kind of groups. This is a group having same nature, their behavior is same, and they are very intelligent and so on. So whenever you'll find such kind of habits, such kind of nature, they are going to form their own group. In one class you'll find 10, 15, 20 groups also. Depends on their nature, depends on their sanskar, depends on their values, depends on their likes, dislikes, and so on. So, and this way also peers are going to form the groups. Okay, now we are moving towards peer education. What happened, peer education, it is an approach which empowers young people to work with other young people and which draws on positive strength of the peer group. Look, as a teacher, what you are supposed to do. Now, you are supposed to make such kind of group, or you will have to motivate your students to make such kind of groups, so that what will happen, these students they will empower young people to work with others, hmm, to work with that means their peers for education purpose, for constructive purpose, not for destructive purpose, and it will draw the positive strength of the peer group. So it is very, very important that as a teacher, we'll have to empower a young generation to work with other young people. Other young people, that means suppose in your school, in your class, you'll find that there are such kind of students, then you may form their one group and let them work with another group from your school, from different school, from different college, and it will create a positive strength of the peer group. So it is also one of the things. So as you know that our young generation, they are so much active. Whatever you are going to teach in the class, they will definitely memorize all those things. They will tell you, they will object you, they will ask so many questions to you. So you can use all those things as a teacher from your peers. So it is really a very good thing whenever as a teacher we are going to consider all those things. We could tell all those things to our peers that they can make such kind of groups. huh? For example, I'm going to give you example of our group. In our group, I remember that we two from our group, 2 or 3 from our group were very, very, we cannot say such kind of things, but we are very sharp. Always we used to get more marks than distinction, mostly outstanding and so on. And remaining persons from our group, they were not such kind of sharp. Hmm. We always make notes. We used to provide these notes to them. We used to discuss on several topics in our group and we used to ask them questions. Okay, now answer this question. Suppose this question will come in our exam, then what answer will you write? And whenever they don't answer all those questions, so we ourselves used to repeat answers of those questions. We used to tell them, okay, whenever such question will come, you'll have to write introduction like this, you'll have to add this point, you'll have to draw such kind of figure. So in this way, whenever they learn in between us in our group, so afterwards, what happened? They also memorize all those things. They study a point. That means the marks were also increased. You will not believe that in our group there was such kind of students hmm, who didn't get a first class also throughout their whole life. But whenever they have joined our group, they got first class. hmm, They were rich to the point till distinction also. They have completed their set exam, net exam, MPhil also, doctorate also. So in this way, this is the benefit of peer group. Look, in peer group, peers will teach each other. So if some weak students are also there, then it is one of the good benefit for these weak students that they could learn with the help of their peers, and they could get we can say till first class also or more than it also. But for this, what is necessary? Group is very much necessary. So always motivate your students, always inspire your students to frame such kind of groups so that they could learn number of things with the help of these groups. So look, a number of benefits are there for peer educators, or we can say as a peer educator, just assume that we are peer educator, and we are widely recognized as we know that I'm teaching in MIT college, he or she is teaching in Sinhagad college, she's teaching in Adarsh college. So number of people are there, and whenever we have formed one group, at that time what will happen, it will include positive changes in terms of knowledge, skills, attitudes and confidence. Look, we seven are here, we seven are in different colleges. So what we used to do, we used to come together. Generally before this pandemic situation, we used to form some of the days, and on that day what we used to now also, but now as this is pandemic situation we couldn't go outside, but whenever we used to give a call that I need your help or we want to discuss on this topic, so all of you must come together on this and this day at this and this time at a regular place. A regular place, that means the place where we have studied whenever we were in the university. So all our friends used to join us at the same time, whatever we have prescribed on our group. And we used to do lots of fun. We used to discuss on the same thing. So number of things takes place at that time. So this is the benefit. Look, at that time, we used to share our knowledge, we used to share our skills, attitudes, and confidence. Right now, also, as in what we used to share, we used to share that look, there is one refresher course, okay, of Mumbai University or this university, and the course is of 15 days. So in that 15 days course, the topic is this and this. So why don't we all join to that course? Because it is very beneficial for us, because it will increase our knowledge, it will give us more confidence, and it will increase our API score also. So this is the benefit for us. So whenever we are going to discuss all those things, what happens? All of us used to join that refresher course because it's online. So after your lecture, again, what we will do, we will join that course online. We will share a number of things. That means in that refresher course also with one another. It is very beneficial for us for assignments also, for work also, because in refresher course they used to give you daily assignment, daily work. So sometimes if someone is not going to understand whatever they have taught, we used to discuss the same in our group. So in this way also, what happens, and this is the benefit for us, for you also, as peer, as peer members of that class. You can also discuss on the topic. For example, Sir has taught us regarding peer groups today only. So, what are the merits of peer group? What are the demerits of peer group? In this way, also you could discuss within yourself. Suppose they will ask you what are the educational implications of peer group. You can discuss it that also. So we can say that peer education, it is a very good thing for your personality development. And you know one thing, look, when your peer group is going to do something, then all the members, they used to participate in it, and they are going to work for the success of that group. Because at that time also we have kept this, that within one attempt all of us must pass NET exam or SAT exam. So what happened at that time, in the very first attempt, I think all of us passed NET exam. That means some of us passed NET and some of us passed SAT exam. Then our next target was, we all must have to complete our MPhil. So we have completed MPhil also. After that, the next target was, we all must have complete a PhD. So most of us have completed their PhD. Some of us are completing. So within some years, they will also get the same thing. So this is the benefit of peer group. Whenever you'll discuss regarding this, so you can give your own example regarding peer groups. Okay, in your examination. So look, some of the characteristics you'll find peer group provides emotional attachment. It is very, just see this, when peer group provides emotional attachment, afterwards we are going to see reference group. In reference group, there is a very less emotional attachment. Look, in peer group, what happened, uh, in the college campus, if you have fixed place, and if you used to go there at a particular time, and you will find that today two members or one of the member didn't come, then you have very emotional attachment with that person. You may call him, you may call her, you may ask regarding that means her health. Is she well? Is she find any difficulty? Do she need any kind of help from you? So this is emotional attachment. You are attached with them emotionally uh, a lot. So it provides us emotional attachment. And then we can say, look, teacher also could take advantages of peer group for giving group work. Look, suppose teacher wants to give you some projects, then teacher could give you projects in group, so that teacher knew that this is a group and they could do a very nice project. So I will give them projects in the group. So it will develop a sense of teamwork also, team spirit also. So it is very good thing when you participate in peer group. And it also provide opportunities for self-expressions to the students. And the beautiful thing, throughout the whole group, they always used to do some experiences, do some adventures also. So let's come with the point view of educational implications. Okay, so now tell me, what are the educational implications of peer group? Or just tell me, suppose there is a question as a teacher, how will you develop the students with the help of the agency peer group? So, what will you write, or what are the educational implications of peer group? Just tell me. What are the educational implications of peer group? Okay, now tell me. It's very simple. That means what educational implication? That means as a teacher, what will you do? What will you use? How will you use peer group? Yes, I need answers from you.
Uh, can I, sir?
Ah, yes, Suma.
So I will try to pair up weaker students with clever
Hmm,
students
okay.
so that they learn something from the clever students, like studying how they study. Maybe they can change their studying habits to improve themselves. Maybe they can change their handwriting, their thinking, spontaneity in answering to the questions posed by the teacher.
Nice try. It's really nice try, Anitama. But one thing, look, I say that peer groups are formed by the students only, and we used to make friendship. We used to make such kind of group where our habits are equal, our nature is equal. We're not going to give entry to another person in our group who is different from us. So generally, what happened? Teacher couldn't make such kind of groups. Groups are already formed. Teacher is just seeing or observing that these are peer groups from my class.
Okay,
So he is going to give them activities.
okay,
So from that point of view, you may say that teacher could give them project work regarding that, but teacher couldn't say that you may take him or her in your group.
okay, sir.
As you might see that in the lunch time also they will go together in the canteen. They will share their tiffin also. So this is very important that whenever you will be there, that means in that peer group, you're not going to allow another student in your group, or whenever another one will come to your group, what other members will say, Don't allow him or her in our group because our nature is different, his nature is different, or her nature is different.
Okay.
So that's why also.
Okay.
Yeah, but very nice try. There's some more persons. Hmm? Some more persons want to share. As a teacher, how will you use this peer group from the point of view of education? You know one? Okay, do you understood the topic or not?
Say, sir, then can it be that the students who are in the peer group,
Yeah,
they provide assistance to the teacher whenever required?
yes, definitely.
They are quiet and we can say respectful in class
Hmm.
so that they learn uh, more better, more
Yeah,
efficiently.
yes,
And peers, the group guides each other's behavior. Yes, the teacher in the class is the main,
hmm,
but apart from the teacher, they
hmm.
themselves in their group, they guide each other.
Yeah, definitely they will guide each other. But for that, peer groups are positive also, negative also.
Negative also.
Yeah, because
Yes.
what happens generally, I say, whenever you'll find that same nature persons, they are going to form one group. In the same way, there are so many students who are very naughty, whose sanskars are not good. They are also going to form their own group, and they are going to do destructive things in the college also. So teacher will have to pay attention towards that also. Okay, no problem. Actually, it's 12:45. I think our time is over. So ma'am is also waiting. So thanks a lot. We will discuss regarding the same in our next lecture. Thank you. Thanks a lot, all.
Thank you, sir.
Over to you, Pitama.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, friends.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Okay. So, can anybody tell me what is going on in learning and teaching? In last lecture, what we have discussed yesterday?
Pavlov's theory.
Ma'am,
Go,
uh,
go, darling.
we have discussed learning through observation and imitation, but
Yes, yes,
imitation still we will going to discuss is, today also.
yeah, exactly. Okay. So, we have discussed learning through observation and imitation. Okay. I'm just wait sharing my screen. See, yesterday we have discussed that learning through observation, right? So, ऑब्जर्वेशन एक ऐसी प्रोसेस है जो हमें इंटरनली हमको मोटिवेट करती है कुछ नया सीखने के लिए करने के लिए एंड व्हाट इज इमिटेशन इमिटेशन में नकल करना हम अगर हम ट्रांसलेट करें तो कॉपी करना किसी को ऑब्जर्वेशन में कॉपी होता है बट देयर इज समथिंग इनर प्रोसेस which motivates us to that thing, to do that thing in a more better way, right? So here I found one article just sharing with you. Babies learn through imitation. It gives them the opportunity. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
Is my screen visible?
Ma'am, fonts are too small too.
Okay, okay, okay. Actually, anyways, you try to listen what I'm speaking, and whenever I share with you, I'll make PPTs in big font. Okay. Okay. So basically, actually, this article I found for just backup that we can understand what is imitation. Okay. So babies learn through imitation. It gives them the opportunity to practice and master new skills. They observe others doing things and then copy their actions that we generally see in the child's behavior. The child mostly copy the adults. Okay. Action in attempt to do them themselves. For example, it is how your baby knows without you having to give him specific instructions how to hold a toy phone up to his ear. He has learned from watching you talk on the phone, right? So children are very smart, and that's why अगर हम मोंटेसरी कोर्सेज में जाएंगे तो ज्यादातर बच्चों को बोल के सिखाया जाता है, सो और जैसे जैसे बच्चे बड़े होते हैं देन लिख के you write again and again to memorize the things. This is the difference. So imitation can also be considered as a baby's for the development of empathy or having the ability to experience what someone else is feeling. So in Albert Bandura's social learning theory states that behavior is learned from the environment through the process of observational learning. It explains human behavior in terms of the interaction between cognitive behavior and environmental influences. And most of the behaviors that people display are learned either deliberately or indirectly through the influence of this example of Bandura's theory, that is observational theory. And Bandura described human as active information processor who are constantly thinking about their behavior and its consequences. So friends, here this article is over, but I just want to tell you that what is learning through imitation. Learning through imitation is one of the most important form of learning. A human child learns mostly through imitation. Actually, that's learning through imitation only happening, not only, but most of the cases happening with the children. Okay. It is a common place of observation that children imitate the behavior, habits, manners, and ways of adults. In imitation, the learner exactly copies the behavior of another person without understanding and thinking. See, this is the difference. जब observation हम करते हैं, तो हम उससे भी ज्यादा कुछ अच्छे करने की कोशिश भी करते हैं, कॉपी भी करते हैं, right? And imitation में, without thinking, without understanding, learner copies that, right? In imitation, the learner exactly copies the behavior of the another person without understanding or thinking. Whenever this copying is observed, it is said that one has learned through imitation. अगर आप सेम टू सेम बच्चों में ये चीज दिखी जाती है. अगर आपके घर पे कोई बच्चा बच्चे का फ्रेंड आ रहा है खेलने बार बार, and your child start to copy that person, parents notice that this thing. Why you copying? You have your own behavior. Do like that. Speak like that. So अब हमको वो चीज समझ में आती है कि ये किसी की कॉपी कर रहा है. It is said that one has learned through imitation. The main characteristics of learning through imitations. The one is the imitator never does it before imitation. जब मैं किसी की नकल करने का शुरुआत करती हूँ, मुझे नहीं पता है उससे पहले कि ये बिहेवियर किसका है और ये मैं क्यों कर रही हूँ और ये मैं करूंगी, राइट? but performs the activity only after seeing. अगर आप attract होते हैं उस behavior से, sometimes even you are not attract directly, but still that behavior cultivates your behavior. Yeah, it modifies your behavior. Sometimes it affects very badly to change or to force you to change your behavior, even you are not aware, right? So the imitator does not know earlier the activity to be imitated. Starting, even imitator does not realize, as I said you, that I'm copying someone, but the front person, but the other person can understand this, that this person is copying someone. Okay. The imitation, the learner exactly copies the activity performed before him. An imitator exactly copies, जैसे mimicry हम कहते हैं. Someone do mimic of some famous persons or teachers in the class, right? So learning through imitation is just it can be asked as a short note in your question paper if it will be asked, right? So learning through observation and imitation, this theory is experimented by Bandura, and Bandura wants to tell us that without any reinforcement, rewards and punishment, even learner can learn new things. That's it. That is the theory wants to tell us, that learning through observation and imitation. Okay. So friends, today I'm going to start the new topic, the new theory, that is operant conditioning theory. Okay. And before going to this new topic, just I want to highlight and like to make you understand these four terms. Main two terms, that is punishment and reinforcement. And afterwards, positive punishment, negative punishment, positive reinforcement, and negative reinforcement. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Okay. Before going to that theory, Skinner's theory, operant conditioning theory, I just want to make you clear that what is punishment and what is reinforcement, because Skinner has used these two, punishment, the importance of punishment and reinforcement in his experiment, right? So directly if I tell you that go to that experiment, sometimes learners may be confused. That's why I just want to clear this four terms. Okay. Positive punishment, a concept used to decrease unwanted behavior. A concept used to decrease unwanted behavior. Negative punishment, taking away something after a particular undesired behavior is exhibited, resulting in the behavior happening less often in the future. Okay. Positive punishment हम क्यों देते हैं, क्योंकि जो अनवांटेड, जो हम नहीं चाहते हैं वैसा बिहेवियर कुछ अगर चाइल्ड ने किया है, स्टूडेंट ने किया है, तो हम फ्यूचर में नहीं चाहते हैं. That is positive punishment. But what are the effects of this positive punishment? We will learn ahead in the theory. Negative punishment. Taking away something after a particular undesired behavior is exhibited. What will be the result? Resulting in the behavior happening less often in the future. This because of that fear of negative punishment. Positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement does not mean something good, but relates more to a term of adding or addition, as in math. Positive reinforcement means हम जो सिखा रहे हैं हम उसे स्ट्रॉन्ग बना. Reinforcement, what is reinforcement? First of all, reinforcement means हम जो सिखा रहे हैं बच्चे को हम चाहते हैं कि वो स्ट्रॉन्गली सीख जाए, वो भूले नहीं. राइट? सुदृढ़ीकरण, इसका क्लियर ट्रांसलेशन इफ आई डू. राइट? उसको जो लर्निंग है वो स्ट्रॉन्ग हो जाए, वो स्ट्रेंथ बढ़ जाए. It is called reinforcement. Positive reinforcement does not mean something good, but relates more to term of adding or addition, as in math. Negative reinforcement. An attempt to increase the likelihood of a behavior occurring in the future. The removal of an adverse stimulus. Negative reinforcement, अगर आप जबरदस्ती किसी को कुछ सिखाना चाहते हैं, it is not possible. What result? That learner will never learn the thing. Right? Okay, these are some images of this positive and negative. You can see two hands, one is happy face, then one is unhappy face. You can see in this tarazu, positive and negative. Okay, so this is the image just want to explain us, that is what is positive and what is negative. Okay. Okay, so now we move to that important topic, that is Skinner's operant conditioning theory. This theory is also known as behavioristic approach. Why it is behavioristic approach? Because with the help of this theory, or to apply this theory, we can shape or we can modify the behavior of a learner. It can help to inbuild some good manners and good behavior in the learner, and that's why it is called as behavioristic approach. What is operant conditioning? The objectives: to explore and understand the operant conditioning, what we are going to study here. The objective: to analyze the research surrounding operant conditioning and to evaluate operant conditioning. See, normally operant conditioning, which we are going to learn today and which you already have learned, that is classical conditioning Paulo. इन दोनों में हमेशा differentiate होता रहता है. What is the difference in two? और वे एग्जाम में भी पूछ सकते हैं, right? So we simultaneously we will try to first of all you just focus on today's theory, operant conditioning, otherwise you will be confused. After we discuss that what is the difference between two. Okay. See, operant conditioning, there are two important points are there or aspects are there. One is reinforcement and one is punishment. That's why before starting this theory, I just share that slide of punishment and reinforcement. How does reinforcement affect our behavior? B.F. Skinner, this is the experimenter and founder of this theory, that is B.F. Skinner, studied how animals can learn from the consequences of their actions. He specifically focused on reinforcement. Reinforcement strengthens the likelihood of behavior reoccurring. Positive reinforcement. See, receiving a reward when a certain behavior is performed to make the behavior happen again. To behave the same way again in order to receive the reward. अगर हमने कुछ अच्छा काम किया, we get the reward for that particular behavior. Then what happens? That reward motivates us to do the same thing again in the future to receive the reward, right? Negative reinforcement occurs when someone avoids something unpleasant. Negative reinforcement occurs when someone avoids something unpleasant. Something undesirable is removed when the desirable behavior happens. Okay. Something undesirable जो हम नहीं चाहते हैं उसे हटाने के लिए हटाना बिकॉज हम जो चाहते हैं वो हो, राइट? जैसे बच्चे हम चाहते हैं कि वो हेल्दी फूड खाएं एंड जंक फूड ना खाएं. समटाइम्स वी यूज नेगेटिव reinforcement to habituate it with healthy food of child, okay, and to avoid the junk food. Then what happens occurs when someone avoids something unpleasant. तो हम क्या करते हैं, बाद में हम उसको कहते हैं कि हम तुम्हें चॉकलेट देंगे. Then what we are doing? Once we are telling him that don't eat junk food, try healthy food, and at last if we tell him that I will give you chocolate, then what is that? It is called as negative reinforcement. Punishment. What is punishment? This is when something undesirable is received after a behavior to make it stop. Punishment is used in an attempt to decrease a behavior. हमें किसी को punishment देने की इच्छा कब होती है? जब हमें लगता है according to that particular person's mentality, he thinks that this is not a good behavior. Right? यहाँ पे एक इमेज दिखाई गई है डॉगी. So the person wants to treat or train that dog that never pee outside on the mat next time, right? This is bad. And some teachers do same thing in the class also, right? So this is called punishment. So what is punishment? Positive reinforcement. Keep calm and use positive reinforcement. शांति से सुनना, शांति से बोलना, okay? Handle करना the whole situation. If a teacher is actually शिक्षक या टीचर का सबसे पहला जो गुण होना चाहिए अच्छी teacher should be patient and very good in communication, right? So if teacher is calm, use positive words while communicating with students, have patience, it is called positive reinforcement. Okay. B.F. Skinner claimed that all behavior is learned as a result of consequences in our environment. This involves learning through consequences, that is positive and negative, of behavioral responses. Right? What is on operant conditioning? Is the founder, is the experimenter of this theory. B.F. Skinner claimed that all the behavior is learned as a result of consequences in our environment. It is operant condition. मतलब हमारे साथ जो होता है दिन भर, राइट, उसी से जो हमारा बिहेवियर बनता है, दैट इज कॉल्ड ऑपरेंट कंडीशनिंग थ्योरी. उसी से हमारा लर्निंग होता है. सो दिस इन्वॉल्व्स लर्निंग थ्रू द कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस of behavioral responses. Operant conditioning. Operant conditioning is concerned with the use of consequences such as gaining rewards or receiving punishments in order to modify and shape behavior. Skinner, like Pavlov, tested this learning process on animals. So this experiment is experimented with animal, that is rat. First of all, try to understand the whole experiment, then you will be more clear what is positive reinforcement, what is negative reinforcement and all, right? He trained rats to press a lever using both types of reinforcement, positive and negative. He used positive reinforcement to train the rat by giving the rat a pellet food each time it pressed the lever. Can you see the image below?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Try to understand what's the experiment actually. He trained rats to press a lever using both types of reinforcement, positive and negative. He used positive reinforcement to train the rat by giving the rat a plate of food each time it pressed the lever. This caused the rat to learn that the lever equal to food. Lever दबाने से food मिलता है. So what the equation rat got? That is lever equal to food. To press the lever equal to food. So it continued to press the lever. He used negative reinforcement to train the rat by running an electric current through the floor of the cage. When the rat pressed the lever, the electric shock would stop. When the rat pressed the lever, the electric shock would stop. This taught the rat that lever equal to getting rid of something bad. Okay, so experiment tried both the things, positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement. Okay, what happens in the starting? Basically, first of all, एक जो जैसे हमने पहले भी एक्सपेरिमेंट में देखा है, एक चूहा अंदर रख दिया है, कॉल्ड एज स्किनर्स बॉक्स और स्किनर पजल बॉक्स. ओके, जो भूखा है, उसे भूख लगी है, बाहर से कोई एक्सपेरिमेंटर बैठा हुआ है, कंटिन्यूअसली वॉचेस ऑन द ईच एंड एवरी एक्टिविटी ऑफ रैट. In the beginning, rat was not aware that how to press the lever. So what happened? Whenever rat हमने देखा है कि रैट कभी एक जगह बैठता नहीं, घूमता रहता है. Okay, and he was continuously under the observation. So what happened? जब भी चूहा लीवर के पास जाता है, अपने आप फूड दे देता है एक्सपेरिमेंट. Okay, so now by moving रैट कम टू नो कि ये लीवर के पास आता है तो कुछ होता है. लीवर के पास आने से फूड मिलता है. राइट. So first of all, experimenter trained that rat कि लीवर दबाने से कुछ होता है. That is the first step. The second one was to train the rat that how to press the lever. Okay. And what happened? अभी उसको ये समझ में आया कि लीवर के आसपास आने से कुछ होता है. In the second step, जब वो कुछ खोजने लगा कि यहाँ आसपास आने से क्या होता है, then again experimenter pressed the button and passed the pallet of food. Now rat come to know ये मेरा हाथ यहाँ टच होने से कुछ होता है. And slowly by so many trial and error trials, rat come to know कि यहाँ दबाने से फूड आता है. Okay, so first of all, experimenter train the rat and make the good connection and introduction of lever and that rat. Okay, so now अभी चूहा एक्सपर्ट हो गया है. Now what happened? Now experimenter go to the next experiment, that is negative reinforcement. नेगेटिव reinforcement से क्या होता है? So he used negative reinforcement to train the rat by running an electric current through the floor of the cage. When the rat pressed the lever, जब भी वो लीवर के पास जाता है, कभी कभी, not all the time electric current पास होता है या stop होता है, but sometimes when the rat pressed the lever, the electric shock would stop. So what this negative reinforcement, through this negative reinforcement, experimenters want to taught the rat that lever equal to getting rid of something bad. लीवर है जिसे कभी कभी खाना भी आता है, और लीवर है जिसे जो करंट पास होता है वो स्टॉप करना है तो भी लीवर ही दबाना है. राइट. So this is the experiment which has been done by B.F. Skinner, which want to emphasize and show us the importance of reinforcement and punishment, positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement, the effect of positive and negative reinforcement on the learner, और उसकी कितनी इफेक्ट रहती है और कब तक रहती है. राइट. दैट B.F. Skinner wants to tell us. Okay. So ये वर्ड बार बार आएंगे आपके सामने, पॉजिटिव reinforcement. Even I will give you one activity tomorrow, that what is positive reinforcement and what is negative reinforcement, that you have to understand. As a teacher, even you have to understand, because हमारे as a teacher, what's our goal? कि जो हम सिखाते हैं वो एकदम दृढ़ हो जाए, वो स्ट्रांग हो जाए, वो लर्निंग हमेशा बच्चे को याद रहे. और सेकंड इज पनिशमेंट. ओके, तो हमेशा पनिशमेंट अगर वर्ड आएगा तो उसके सामने टीचर आ ही जाएगी. सो दिस बोथ वर्ड्स आर वेरी important in teacher's life, and that's why even not a part of this subject, but I want that you understand these both the words in a perfect manner and apply it in a perfect manner. Okay, so positive reinforcement increase the likelihood of a response occurring because it involves a reward for the behavior. Can you think any examples? See, the workers gets paid a bonus for working hard. See, there are so many examples are given. At last, I want one example from your side. See, I will repeat. Increases the likelihood of a response occurring because it involves a reward for the behavior. The worker gets paid a bonus for working hard. A dog gets a treat for returning when called. The child gets dessert for eating her vegetables. Reward points are given for good work. Okay, any one example from your side now? I want any one example.
Ma'am, may I?
Yes, please.
Ma'am, sometimes it happens that parents used to give or said to the children that if you got good marks in the test, then we will going to give you your favorite gift.
Okay, okay, that is positive reinforcement. Okay, so reward points are given for good work. Okay, next, that is negative reinforcement. Increase the likelihood of a response occurring because it involves the removal of or escaping from unpleasant consequences. For example, it leads to stopping or avoiding an electric shock. देखो लीवर दबाना क्यों सीख जाता है चूहा, क्योंकि वहां पे एक नेगेटिव रिइंफोर्समेंट भी है, शॉक. अगर उससे बचना है तो it has to press the lever and it has to learn how to press the lever, right? So it is called negative reinforcement. मम्मी की मार से बचना है या एग्जाम में अगर गड़बड़ हो गई, then parents will kill me, like that's no, yeah, parents will not give me any gift or any such kind of fear or any such kind of uh, mm, imitation or I will tell that कि पहले से ही जो हमने मन में बना रखा है पेरेंट्स ने एक इम्प्रेशन, वो इम्प्रेशन बच्चे के मन पे रहता है, अरे मैं ऐसा नहीं करूंगा तो ये होगा, राइट? तो उसे बचने के लिए भी बच्चा सीख जाता है. So can you think of any examples? One, chalk collar is loosened when the dog moves closer to the trainer. The reins are loosened when the horse slows down. लगाम ढीली हो जाती है जब घोड़े की स्पीड कम हो जाती है. The car buzzer turns off when you put on your seatbelt. The torture is stopped when the victim confess. So ये नेगेटिव इन्फोर्समेंट है, राइट? नेगेटिव एक्चुअली रिजल्ट है जो हमें रिइंफोर्समेंट मतलब कुछ करना या जो हमारा ट्रेनर, जो हमारा मेंटर या हमारा टीचर कराना चाहता है, हम सीख जाते हैं, राइट? सो देयर इज इफेक्ट ऑफ पॉजिटिव एंड एज वेल नेगेटिव रिइंफोर्समेंट. So in operant conditioning, yeah, it's important to note, however, that the association between responses and consequences have to be made closer together in time for learning to occur. What is operant conditioning? Operant conditioning has been applied to the treatment of behavior, that is shaping behavior, that I told you. It is important to note that however the association between response and consequences have to be made closer at that time learning will occur, right? इस थियोरी में consequences क्या है, response क्या है, that we learn. What will the response? That is one is positive reinforcement, that is food, and the negative reinforcement, that is electric shock. And association between, and both are associated with the pressing lever, right? Okay, so example include social skills training for offenders and token economy systems used to institutions whereby token are given as a secondary enforcement for good behavior. Okay. See the box you can see on your screen, that is operant conditioning Skinner, and this is called as Skinner box. Sometimes it can be asked in your MCQ or 1 mark test that which box is called in operant conditioning theory, that it is called Skinner box or Skinner puzzle box. See, punishment. What do you think of punishment? Okay, you tell me. Anyone, what is punishment? Do you have any idea or able to tell me what is punishment? Okay. Examples of positive punishment. The consequence is receiving something unpleasant, which decrease the probability of the behavior being repeated. For example, the behavior leads to an electric shock or smack. Here are some examples are given. Punishment क्या है basically? सामने वाला व्यक्ति या स्टूडेंट या लर्नर कुछ ऐसा कर रहा है जो आप नहीं चाहते हैं और उसके बदले में you react to that person negatively, it is called punishment. Okay. Being on the run by a puppy is punished with a swat of newspaper. The driver's speeding result in a ticket and a fine. A baby's hand is burned when she touches the hot stove. And walking straight through low doorways is punished with a bonk on the head. See, these all examples are positive punishment. Okay. कि अगर हम ट्रैफिक रूल्स तोड़ते हैं तो फाइन लगता है, फाइन लगना पनिशमेंट है, बट दैट इज पॉजिटिव पनिशमेंट बिकॉज हम उसके बाद वो सीख जाते हैं कि हमें ये नहीं करना है. जब बच्चे के हाथ में कुछ गर्म चीज आती है, हम पहले बहुत मना करते हैं, देन व्हाट पेरेंट्स डिसाइड, एक बार हो जाए समझ में आ जाएगा, राइट? सो वंस child touch the hot stove or a lamp, okay, what happens? सीख जाता है बच्चा कि अब मुझे यहाँ नहीं करना है. My parents told me right thing. I will not do this thing again. Right? So this is called positive punishment. Walking straight through low doorways is punished with the bonk of the head. आपको पता है कि दरवाजा नीचा है, फिर भी हम नीचे नहीं हो रहे, कोई बता रहा है फिर भी हम नहीं उसे फॉलो कर रहे. Then what happened? सर जोर से पटक जाता है. And when I return, I learned that मुझे अब झुक के जाना है. Right. So this is called positive punishment, which comes naturally sometimes. Okay. Negative punishment. The consequence is removing something desirable and decreases probability of the behavior being repeated. So here are some examples of negative punishment. Toys being taken away from a child when they are throwing a tantrum. The child has his crayons taken away for fighting with his sister. The teenager is grounded for misbehavior. Child banned from playing computer games, for swearing. See, मैं ऐसा कहूंगी कि ये पॉजिटिव पनिशमेंट्स होती है वो बहुत मैनी टाइम्स नेचुरल पनिशमेंट होती है, जो रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस में आने वाली पनिशमेंट होती है, उसे हम पॉजिटिव पनिशमेंट कहते हैं। नेगेटिव पनिशमेंट जिसमें हम डिसाइड करते हैं कि इसको कैसे सीधा करें बच्चे को या कैसे सिखाएं, और समटाइम्स वी आर नॉट quite matured to give that punishment for that particular behavior of a learner, and it can be associated with negative punishment, right? So the consequence is removing something desirable and decrease the probability of the behavior being repeated. पनिशमेंट क्यों ले रहे हैं? हम चाहते हैं कि वो फिर से ना करें, बट वो फिर से हो रहा है because that is the effect of your negative punishment, right? See, this is good. It's a really good sentence. It's written here, and I love this. With punishment, we have Skinner's views on punishment. Tell us what not to do. Doesn't tell us what to do. So, are you agree with me on this quote?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, right. Tell us what not to do. Doesn't tell us what to do. Right. So teaches us avoidance. May cause undesirable side effects, which is fear and aggression. If punishment is unpredictable and unavoidable, we develop sense that events are beyond our control. See the effect of punishment here? If punishment is unpredictable and unavoidable, we develop sense that events are beyond our control. Punishment. Instead, emphasize reinforcement, catch us doing something right and affirm it. Instead, emphasize reinforcement, catch us doing it. These are quotes, some good quotes are given by Skinner. On the basis of that, Skinner experimented this experiment, and he wants to prove the importance of this reinforcement and punishment. Catching us doing something right and affirm it. Okay. So activities given here. So tomorrow we'll continue with the same Skinner's operant conditioning theory. In which we will do some activity for this particular theory, and I will ask some question regarding quiz type questions that and in which you have to describe that what is negative reinforcement, what is positive punishment. Okay, so that 4 important things which we have discussed today. So I'm going to give you some small activities and small quiz the basis of this theory, that is operant conditioning theory. Okay, so thank you for friends.
Ma'am,
We'll meet tomorrow. Yeah.
Ma'am, may I ask something?
Yes, please.
Ma'am, the basic difference between the negative reinforcement and the punishment is, can you tell us that?
Sorry?
Negative reinforcement and punishment.
I'm sorry, I'm not audible. You are not audible. आवाज break हो रही है. फिर से बोलेंगे?
Ma'am, difference between the negative reinforcement and punishment.
Sorry, but you are not audible. Who are you?
Shweta, ma'am.
Shweta. Okay. Shweta, you are not audible. मुझे सुनाई नहीं दे रहा. तो आप you can chat.
Yes, ma'am. I am writing there.
Yeah. It's a break time, so if others want to leave the meet, they can leave. Negative reinforcement and negative punishment, right? Okay.
Yes,
So here are some examples we have discussed, Shweta. Difference between negative reinforcement. अगर मैं कोई बच्चे को सिखाना ही चाहती हूँ, कुछ अच्छा सिखाना चाहती हूँ, but negative reinforcement in this experiment you studied कि चूहा है, उसे लीवर दबाना सिखाना चाहते हैं, बेसिकली एक्सपेरिमेंटर स्कीनर. Okay. So that is one positive reinforcement, that is full, and that is one negative reinforcement, that is electric shock, right?
yes.
तो जब भी इलेक्ट्रिक शॉक पास होता है तो उसे पता है कि लीवर दबाने से ही बंद होता है, राइट?
Yes, ma'am.
अगर मुझे पता है मुझे बीमारी होगी तो मुझे दवा खानी पड़ेगी. ओके. अगर वो मुझे दवा पसंद है या नहीं है, आई हैव टू गो टू द डॉक्टर, आई हैव टू टेक द इंजेक्शन, राइट? अभी उसको समझ में आ गया है कि अगर ये इलेक्ट्रिक शॉक स्टार्ट हुआ है, वो मुझे बंद करना है, तो मुझे लीवर दबाना पड़ेगा. तो बेसिक thing is that experimenter wants a rat to learn that thing to press the lever,
Okay.
right? And that is called negative reinforcement, right? अगर आप स्टूडेंट टीचर है, क्लास में कुछ अच्छा सिखाना चाहते हैं, लेकिन अच्छा सिखाने के लिए कभी कभी हम एक्स्ट्रा लेक्चर भी लेते हैं. हम ऐसा नहीं कहते कि हम सिर्फ बच्चे को मारना ही है मार्क्स के लिए, राइट? या उसको फेल कर देना है, या उसके सबके सामने उसका इंसल्ट कर देना है. दैट इज कॉल्ड नेगेटिव पनिशमेंट, क्योंकि उसका बच्चे पे गलत असर होता है. एंड व्हाट इज नेगेटिव रीइंफोर्समेंट? ओके, नेगेटिव रीइंफोर्समेंट मीन्स अगर मुझे एक बार अनुभव हो गया कि आई ब्रोक द रूल्स ऑफ ट्रैफिक रूल्स और मुझे फाइन लग गया है 500 का, then what I will learn next time, I will be more aware while I cross the road, right? So I'll try to not break the traffic rules, right? So this is the minor difference between negative reinforcement. Negative punishment is something that कि आप punishment क्यों दे रहे हैं? सबसे पहले क्योंकि आप चाहते हैं कि जो बच्चा कर रहा है वो ना करे, right? The goal behind giving negative punishment is good, maybe, but the effect of that action will come in the negative reaction. That is called as negative punishment. Got it?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Actually, ये जो words है वो दिमाग में दौड़ते रहेंगे, and I'm sure कि कल फिर से भूल जाओगे आप लोग. So, but I'll try. इसलिए मैंने बार ये चीजें आप समझाई हैं, क्योंकि I know that it's not so easy कि दिमाग में एकदम से बैठ जाए और आप आंसर कर सको. And that's why tomorrow we are going to discuss one activity. So you even better way you can understand this all terms. Okay, so don't worry, it will be done. Okay. Okay. Do you have any
Okay.
question?
No, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.